and the recitation of JCI values, mission, and vision.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, hanap ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay.
Lupang hihirang, duyan ka ng magiting. Sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingil.
Sa dagat ang tulong, sa simoy at sa langit mong lugaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal.
Ang iskap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidingding.
Ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may di magdidiin.
Tumanang-araw lang, walang ipagsilang. Kaya natin sa Pinoy, ang ligaya na may pahali.
Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today with humble hearts, seeking your guidance and wisdom. Lord, we ask that you would bless every person who has gathered here today. Please give us the strength and the courage to follow your will and to use the gifts and talents you have given us to make a positive difference in the world. We pray all of this in your holy name.
JCI brothers and sisters, let us recite the JCI Creed, prayer, mission, and vision in unison and with conviction.
JCI Creed. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of men transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that Earth's great treasure lies in human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life.
JCI Prayer. We reaffirm our conviction that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life. May the Lord guide us in all our undertakings.
JCI Vision, to be the foremost global network of young leaders.
JCI Mission, to provide leadership development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change.
You may now be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, may we invite on stage the 2025 National President of JCI Philippines, Mr. Felix Benson Chua, for his opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Most especially to our distinguished guests, partners, members of JCI Philippines, members of TOYM Foundation, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the stars who shine bright even in the light of day, our outstanding young men. Magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat. Morning. It's wonderful to see so many leaders, change makers, supporters gathered in one room. Today proves one simple thing. When people who care about service come together, the room feels little brighter and a lot more hope. Today is even more meaningful as we celebrate the 66th edition of the Outstanding Young Men of the Philippines. For more than 6 decades, TOYM has stood as one of the country's most respected platforms for recognizing young Filipinos whose excellence is not only measured by success, but by service, integrity, and impact. This legacy continues to thrive because of the dedicated leadership behind it. We are deeply honored to have with us Sir Donnie Tantoco, Chairman of the TOYM Foundation, and Ms. Shay Revilla, the TOYM President. Thank you for your steadfast commitment to TOYM and for ensuring that this institution remains relevant, credible, and inspiring for generations to come. As the 2025 National President of JCI Philippines, I've had the privilege of working with young leaders across the country. And as I look at our awardees, I see the same spirit, the desire to do better, to uplift others, and to help shape a bagong Pilipinas. This is the very essence of what the theme Build Better means to us in JCI Philippines. The guiding message of TOYM this year, Excellence in Action, Building a Better Tomorrow, reflects the same vision, Bagong Pilipinas, Build Better, and the TOYM team all move us in one clear direction. They challenge us to look at where we are today and boldly ask, how can we make this better for our communities, for our people, and for our country? In this light, TOYM becomes more than just an awards program. It becomes a bridge connecting personal excellence to national progress, individual leadership to collective hope. Through TOYM, we are reminded that when young people choose to lead with purpose, the future in our country is in good hands. And in these stories of service and leadership, we find something deeply powerful, hoping that tomorrow can be better. I would also like to take this moment to express my deepest gratitude to Attorney Tonette Aliones, the screening panel chairperson, and to the distinguished panel of judges led by Attorney Darlene Berberabe, Solicitor General of the Philippines. Thank you for your wisdom and commitment to ensure that this honor continues to reflect the highest standards of leadership and service. Kaya nga siguro, Fantastic Four lang ang nakalusot this year. This morning, we celebrate the 4 young men whose work does not always make headlines, but makes a real difference. Your service may be quiet, but its impact is felt far and wide. To borrow a quote from a Fantastic Four movie, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. And today is not just about the awards. It is about gratitude. Gratitude for sacrifices made, the time given, and the passion poured into making this country better. It's not about celebrating young people who remind us that loving this country can be expressed through service and consistent action. As we begin this ceremony, may we be inspired by their stories, encouraged their commitment, and reminded that each of us has the power to change the world, sometimes in big ways or often in quiet ones. Now, it is my honor to welcome everyone and congratulate to our outstanding young men. This day is for you. Mabuhay ang JCI Philippines, mabuhay ang TOYM Foundation, mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas. Ganun man.
Thank you, Mr. Chua. We would like to acknowledge the presence of our Executive Secretary, Secretary Ralph Recto. At this time, may we call on the chairman of the TOYM Foundation, Mr. Bienvenido Tantoco III, to deliver a message on behalf of the TOYM Foundation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to greet first of all and really express our appreciation to the Executive Secretary, Mr. Ralph Recto. Can we please give him a hand of applause? Thank you for being here. Mr. Secretary, on this very meaningful occasion for us, we appreciate so much your presence. You know, somebody said your deep calling is where your deepest source of passion intersects with one of the world's and the country's deepest hungers. And I think your whole life in the various roles in government and even the most recent ones, either in the executive branch or in the legislative branch, you've demonstrated that with quality, integrity, and consistency. And so it means a lot to us that this award is being conferred by you. Thank you very, very much. I'd also like to greet our Solicitor General, who is very present in this whole process in more ways than one, also doing a lot of good things for the country. And she was the chairman of our Board of Judges, and she did it with speed and quality and integrity. So, Madam, thank you so much for your help. I'll acknowledge a couple more people. Obviously, Hannah Cano, who worked for about a year or two on this. This didn't happen overnight. This is a very serious journey and process. Thank you very much for shepherding us. Thank you. And of course, 30, the national president of JCI. Your overarching leadership really helped, not only in JCI, but in TOIM specifically. And last but not least, my very, very good friend, we've been co-leading TOIM for many years. I'm not sure when our term ends, but I don't want it to end as long as you're in it. Please greet our president, Ms. Shay Revilla. Thank you, Shay. I'd like to greet everyone in the room. You know, it means a lot to us that you are here. It's the first month of the year, and you know there's so much happening. There's so much that's disruptive, right? And yet, you are here. You are here, and I thank you very, very much for the gift of your time and your presence. You're giving significance and importance to what we're doing here, and I can't thank you enough for that. And if you look around the room, brothers and sisters, there's people from all over the country that are here. People from the north, from the middle, from the south, isolated places of our country. And obviously all the major cities are represented. So if the event, this gathering is also meaningful because you represent the entire archipelago. The archipelago of our country is here. And if you talk to one another and you hear about each other's backgrounds, and your life journeys, you'll realize that there's people from science, people from the arts, people from the medical field, people from banking, people that are doing very important work to make our society better. Not only for themselves, but to make an impact also. And what unites all of us, I think, is that we all have a certain kind of courage. That when we see things happening around us, we're proactive, we're not passive. We're not the kind of people who bury our heads in the ground, especially in a time like now. And I think another quality that we have, aside from patriotism, that unites this in diversity is an innate goodness. And I really feel that you're one of the few good people in the world, and you've got to be big. You've got to shine brightly so that others can also be influenced by you. So today we come together not simply to recognize achievement, but to affirm the kind of leadership our country needs for the years ahead. We are gathered here in nothing less than Malacanang Palace, a place that carries deep meaning for our nation. To be here is to be reminded that leadership, service, and stewardship matter, and the work of shaping our future is both a privilege and a responsibility. We gratefully acknowledge the presence of Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. He works for our President, President Bongbong Marcos, and we continue to support his administration in recognizing young Filipinos who serve the nation with integrity and excellence, which is, in a way, becoming rare. Holding this ceremony in Malacanang affirms the national importance of what we honor today, and we are deeply thankful for that support. The challenges before our country are complex, urgent, and often overwhelming in scale. But many of these challenges ultimately fall on the shoulders of the young. As a community, our sense is this. We can help, as a TOYM community, our sense is this. We can help by focusing deeply. We can take one issue at a time, deconstruct it, diagnose it carefully, and align our collective wisdom and creativity around what matters most. When you look at our logo, TOYM, you see the letter Y. And I just realized the other day, I haven't discussed it with Shay, our president, that the Y in TOYM is the Y that represents our reason for being. It stands for youth. It reminds us of why this work matters at all, and that's why we'll keep going, Shay. Because of how we care for the young, because how we care for the young ultimately shapes the kind of nation we will become. I know TOYM, we're not abstract, we're not conceptual, not theoretical, we're very tangible and specific when we do things. Last Sunday, during the Mass celebrated by Father Tito Caluag, we were reminded of the Epiphany of Santo Niño, or the Feast Day of Santo Niño, which is about youth. We were reminded of something both simple and profound. The true measure of society is how it treats its children. Our young people today face serious challenges. Father Caluag mentioned stunting. 1/3 of every child that's 5 years and younger is stunted. So 13 years from now, 1/3 of all the 18-year-olds will be PWDs. Maybe we can analyze that. Maybe we can do something about that. He also mentioned that 11 million people are out-of-school youth. Just keeping them in school, how do you break that down? And maybe there's one thing we can do as a community to do something about that. Gaps in education and lack of real opportunities. And Father Caluag said it beautifully, and the prayer said empower, the word empower. We want to empower the youth to give them the legitimacy and the ability to dream. At the end of the day, they should have, from, if they feel hopeless or whatever, we have to give them that empowerment to dream in our own little ways, and then collectively it might result in something. In this context of what I said about our Y of TOYM, we present to you the 2025 TOYM awardees who are here today with their families. Their journeys and achievements at such a young age are real human stories. They're filled with struggles, filled with rejections, as much as they are filled with inspiring achievements. Each one is unique and extraordinary, and to me and to us, they are living proof that when the youth are animado, when the youth are inspired, guided, and given opportunity to serve, they become not only successful individuals, but a genuine force of good that is also a force to be reckoned with. What inspires me most personally is not only what they have accomplished, but the choices they made along the way. Again and again, they chose the harder, more counter-cultural path, often at a great personal cost. They found their calling early, where their deepest gladness meets the deepest needs of the world. Through different disciplines and in very different contexts, these awardees show us what it means to show up and not bury our heads in the sand, where it's difficult to engage the vulnerable and to work patiently at the roots of complex problems. Their excellence is not loud or performative. It is grounded, it is disciplined, and it is offered in the love and the service of others. What they embody is leadership that is humble and not triumphal, leadership that chooses responsibility over recognition, presence over performance, and faithfulness over applause. This kind of leadership may not always be visible, but it's the kind that sustains institutions, heals communities, and builds a future that lasts. So on behalf of the TOIM Foundation, congratulations to our 4 2025 awardees. We pray for you, we support you, we give you access to the full TOIM community as you continue your journeys. And may your lives continue to remind us that when excellence is placed in the service of others, it restores dignity, protects hope, and keeps the dreams of young people alive. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tantoco. We will now proceed to the presentation of the screening panel, Board of Judges, and honorees. We would like to extend our sincerest gratitude to the members of our screening panel. May we request them to please rise as we acknowledge their names in recognition of their invaluable service. Our screening panel this year is headed by Attorney Maria Antoinette Velasco Aliones. Together with the following members: Jose Roberto Alampay, Krista Francis De Sesto, Dr. Beverly Lorraine Ho, Ariestelo A. Asilo, Dr. Ryan Ginaran, and Jayton Zulueta. We would also like to acknowledge our esteemed Board of Judges, headed by the Chairman of the Board, Attorney Darlene Marie B. Berberabe, Carmencita D. Padilla, Reginaldo Anthony B. Cariaso, Federico M. Hizon, Milwida M. Guevara, Jeremy R. Barnes, and Mr. Erwin Lee. To announce the 2025 TOIM honorees, may we request the Chairman of the Board and Solicitor General, Attorney Darlene Marie B. Berberabe, to do the honors.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Executive Secretary Ralph Recto, Donnie Tantoco, Chairperson of TOIM Foundation, Shay Cabal Revilla, President of TOIM Foundation, Attorney Tonette Velasco Aliones, 3D Chua, National President of JCI Philippines, Hannah Chloe Cano, Chairperson of TOIM Search 2025, Board of Judges, of course, Dr. Carmencita Padilla, Irwin Lee, Jeremy Barnes, Rico Hizon, Reginald Cariaso, and Milwilda Guevara, and the screening panel of TOIM Search 2025, it is my honor to present the awardees for the Outstanding Young Men 2025. Our first awardee is a champion of planetary health, known for his groundbreaking work in environmental psychology, which bridges climate change and mental health. He has established the country's first research hub dedicated to sustainability and psychological well-being, the Sphere Lab, as well as co-founded Empath, that delivers community-curated mental health services and solutions. The 2026 Outstanding Young Men Awardee for Education, Dr. John Hamir Benzon R. Aruta.
Dr. John Jamir Benzon Aruta is a globally respected scholar in his field, a counseling and environmental psychologist from the Philippines whose work connects climate change, mental health, and social justice. Based in one of the world's most climate-vulnerable countries, he has dedicated his life in advancing scientific psychology of environmental sustainability. He has also spent over a decade as a mental health practitioner, working with individuals and marginalized communities affected by disasters, poverty, and environmental stress. As a scholar, Dr. Aruta has published extensively in leading international journals and helped shape global scientific conversations on climate mental health, resilience, and equity in the Global South, showcasing Philippine experiences as a meaningful source of wisdom for the rest of the world. Through high-quality research, editorial leadership, and community engagement, his work shows that protecting mental health is essential in achieving climate justice, especially for the most affected but least heard.
The next awardee is known as Legal Defender of Ancestral Domains, utilizing the law to protect marginalized communities. A proud member of the Tuwali Ifugao indigenous tribe, he translates complex legal framework into actionable strategies, defending ancestral domains against encroachment and institutionalizing indigenous rights within the country's legal education and policy systems. The 2026 Outstanding Young Men Awardee for Law, Human and Indigenous Peoples' Rights, Attorney Raymond Marvic, Prof. Ice, C. Bagilat.
Ako nalgot ako ng in. I am Raymond Marvic Ice, Katoliko Bagilat, a Tuwali Ifugao and a human rights and indigenous peoples lawyer, educator, and scholar. My philosophy rests on the belief that each of us should aspire to create a just and free society, grounded in upholding the dignity of all, awareness of the persistent oppression of the marginalized, and the courage to change oppressive systems. In courts, legislative halls, classrooms, and communities, from the Cordillera to the Bangsamoro, I have applied this philosophy, advancing the promotion, respect, and protection of the rights of marginalized communities, especially of indigenous peoples, ensuring that those who have been oppressed and ignored are now seen, heard, and empowered to determine their future, sparking hope as we continue the struggle for justice.
The next awardee is known as the architect of the regenerative economy by redefining how tourism and entrepreneurship can restore ecosystems and uplift the communities. He introduced circular economy models and livelihood opportunities such as reforestation of Aita ancestral domains and sustainable innovations such as biochar and plastic eco-bricks. The Outstanding Young Men Awardee for Sustainable Ecotourism and Entrepreneurship, Rafael Ignacio Sison Jonicio.
We are experiencing now heat index of 40, 43, which we, if you notice, beginning to normalize.
Hindi ka po makalakad dyan sa lahar.
Typhoons that have just taken everything away, fires that have taken away land, and in that devastation, them telling me that there is hope. And who am I, right, to say, no, there's none.
This whole project's about empowering them. Another way to take care of the environment, to take care of their families. We can't protect it. I can't protect it. Only they can.
The Doktor ng Dagat made history as the first Filipino to reach the Emden Deep, an achievement he utilized to champion Philippine sovereignty in the country's archipelagic waters. He has pioneered research on marine plastic pollution and microbial ecology, as well as worked on educating communities through science roadshows and building research laboratories. The Outstanding Young Men Awardee for Pure Sciences and Mathematics, Dr. Deo Florence L. Onda.
Problema ng Pilipinas, masyado siyang malaki. Para matugunan yun, mas kailangan natin ng madaming researchers, madaming scientists. Hindi kasi dapat nakukulong yung kapasidad at saka yung expertise sa isang grupo. Hindi siya dapat piniperform lang ng isang institution. Although we actually develop the methods, we come up with the technologies. At the end of the day, we should be decentralizing these methods and expertise, and we should be encouraging more younger scientists to actually take on the role. Ang pinaka-epektibong paraan kasi para maipakilala at maipaalam sa tao yung problema ay maikwento ito sa paraan na naiintindihan, nagagagap. Ito yung role natin. Alamin kung paano, saan, at paano tayo makakatugon doon sa problema. Sana sa future, pag tinanong natin yung mga bata na nasa probinsya, nasa maliliit na mga barangay, anong gusto mo maging paglaki mo? Gusto ko maging scientist kasi gusto kong makatulong doon sa pagtugon ng problema ng bansa.
Sa mga Pilipino, ito po ang NDMD, atin ito.
Ako si Deo Onda, isang mandaragat at siyentista para sa bayan.
Being a TOYM awardee is not limited to this moment in time, but it is a lifetime commitment. It is a continuing responsibility to live with honor, to pursue excellence in your work and personal life, and to share one's talent in the service of others. As you grow your spirit of service and refine your character, we cheer you on. We trust that you will contribute more to tread the path for our beloved nation towards meaningful progress. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Attorney Berberabe. Now to confer the TOYM Trophy, Medal, and Pin, we would like to invite on stage Executive Secretary Ralph Recto, TOYM Foundation Chairman Mr. Donnie Tantoco, TOYM Foundation President Shay Revilla, JCI Philippines National President 30 Chua, and TOYM Search and Awards National Chairperson Hannah Chloe Cano. TOYM 2025 awardee for Environmental and Climate Psychology is Mr. John Jamir Benzon R. Aruta. Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Aruta. TOYM 2025 honoree for Law, Human Rights, and Indigenous Peoples is Attorney Raymond Marvic I.C. Bagilat. Thank you and congratulations, Attorney Bagilat. TOYM 2025 honoree for regenerative tourism and circular economy entrepreneurship is Mr. Rafael Cisan Janiso. Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Janiso. TOYM 2025 honoree for marine science and sustainability is Mr. Deo Florence L. Onda. Once again, congratulations to our distinguished honorees. To deliver a response on behalf of the TOYM honorees, may we call on Attorney Ice Bagilat.
The Executive Secretary Ralph Recto and our distinguished guests, Solicitor General Darlene Berberabe, the members of the TOYM Board of Judges, the TOYM Foundation and Chairperson, Bienvenido Tantoco III, the Philippine JCs and National President Felix Chua, to the TOYM Screening Panel, led by Attorney Antoinette Alones, Ma'am Hannah Cano, it's nice seeing you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mapodan algot ako namiin. Good morning. It is both an honor and a privilege for me to speak on behalf of my fellow 2025 TOYM awardees, Dr. John Aruta, Dr. Dio Onda, and Mr. Rafael Janiso. We extend our deepest gratitude to the TOYM Foundation and the Philippine JCs, especially to the nominators who believed in us, JCI Candon, JCI Naga, JCI Vegan, and JCI Puerto Princesa. To our families and friends, thank you for your unwavering support and patience. This recognition is as much yours as it is ours. John, Dio, Raf, and I welcome our The Outstanding Young Man Award with humility, a deep sense of responsibility, and a renewed commitment to service. We recognize that this award goes beyond us as individuals. While we are grateful for the recognition of our respective fields, we also understand that the significance of our work reflects the magnitude of the challenges that we face. For John, it is the environmental crisis and its profound impact on mental health. For Dio, it's the protection of our marine ecosystems and the defense of our sovereignty. For Raf, it is the degradation of our forests and the loss of livelihoods amid the push for greater tourism. And for myself, it's the persistent and continuing struggles of indigenous peoples against development aggression that curtail our rights. These realities remind us that the platform and prestige bestowed upon us do not mark the end of service. Instead, it's a call to push forward, to remain consistent, faithful, and courageous. And sharing shows that we are not alone. Though we come from different backgrounds, our work intersects. Law meets science, tourism, psychology, and indigenous knowledge. Our fields converge in advancing rights-based, science-informed approaches to environmental restoration, safeguarding cultural integrity of indigenous peoples, and recognizing and protecting mental health. Together, we amplify our service and we welcome the Toym family to further push this. As we honor indigenous peoples, fisher folks who depend on our seas and the communities that we serve, from Brooks Point to Kiangan, Ifugao, the Bangsamoro to every other part of the Philippines and beyond, we will not waver because our resolve is owed to them and to future generations. The advocacy also involves everyone here today, and the four of us love to teach. Thus, as I close, we do invite everyone to reflect. Who are indigenous peoples? Why are their rights protected? Why does the environment affect our mental health? Where is MND? How do we ensure that our fellow Filipinos assert our sovereignty and rights in the West Philippine Sea? What is regenerative economy, and why is it essential in restoring our forests and ensuring sustainable tourism? These questions, we hope, will spark your curiosity as you join us as we move to action. Together, let us shape a nation that honors the environment, defends the rights of indigenous peoples and the marginalized, and safeguards the well-being of one another. Again, on behalf of John, Dio, and Raf, thank you very much. Agyamanak, munhana, salamat, maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Attorney Bagilat. At this time, may we invite on stage the Honorable Executive Secretary, Secretary Ralph Recto, to deliver the message on behalf of the President.
Thank you. The Outstanding Young Men Toym Foundation Incorporated, Chairman Bienvenido Tantoco III, Solicitor General Attorney Darlene Marie Berberabe, JCI Philippines National President Felix Benson Chua, our distinguished Toym awardees of the Philippines for 2025, fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. It is an honor to join you today on behalf of His Excellency, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., at the Outstanding Young Men and Women Awards 2025 awarding ceremony. While the President could not be with us in person, he asked me to convey his warm greetings and his message to everyone here. He is most especially proud of today's awardees, young Filipinos whose work reflects the values and aspirations of our country. Allow me now to share his message. Again, a pleasant morning to all. Since its establishment in 1959, the Outstanding Young Men and Women Toym Awards has become a reminder that age is never a barrier to excellence. For more than 6 decades, the Toym has recognized young Filipinos who choose to uplift communities and shape our country's future. The theme of this year's celebration could not be more fitting: excellence in action, building a better tomorrow. In this age of the Bagong Pilipinas, excellence must be in our every endeavor so we can have a lasting impact on the lives of our fellow citizens. Today, we honor young Filipinos whose work has been driven by courage, conviction, and of course, excellence. We recognize Attorney Bagilat for using his legal mind to defend indigenous peoples and to ensure that their rights are embedded into our legal and educational systems. We celebrate Mr. Junicio, an innovator who partnered with 8 communities in Zambales to restore forests and build livelihood that respect both people and our planet. We also honor Dr. Aruta, a pioneer who connected climate change and mental health to build an institution that shines a light on how environmental loss affects our well-being, especially in the Global South. And we commend Dr. Onda for being the first Filipino to reach the Emden Deep, the third deepest point on Earth, for leading scientific expeditions in the West Philippine Sea, and for leading critical research on marine plastic pollution and microbial ecology. Each of you truly proves that leadership demands a deep sense of purpose. And I am glad that you are all here to share that purpose and your talents with your fellow Filipinos. Through your work, and more importantly, the impact you have created, I am confident that the Philippines is in good hands. In you, we see an emboldened generation that is guided by purpose and committed to service. To our awardees, continue to lead with integrity and act with compassion in your respective fields. The nation awaits your next triumph. To the Junior Chamber International Philippines and the TOIM Foundation, thank you for keeping this tradition that challenges our youth to serve and succeed. To all young Filipinos watching, I hope these awardees inspire you to hold yourself to the highest standards in everything you do. Always keep in mind that excellence becomes possible when we choose to use our talents in the service of others. Again, congratulations, and may we never lose sight of the reason why we do this work, why we serve, and why we wake up each day, and that is to build a better tomorrow for all. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang ating TOIM awardees. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas. That was the message of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Let me congratulate our awardees. Your stories reinforce the importance of service, commitment, and care for others. Kayo ang larawan ng bagong Pilipino. May disiplina, may husay, at may pagmamahal sa bayan. Maraming salamat po at magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. May we please request the Honorable Secretary to please remain on stage for the photo opportunity. And may we also invite back on stage TOYM Foundation Chairman Mr. Donnie Tantoco and Mr. TOYM Foundation President Shay Revilla. For the first batch of photo opportunity, may we please invite our TOYM honorees with their families.